Hello. I am going to be running through some information about coaching today. So there's a couple of different reasons why I thought it would be a good idea to do something about coaching. One of the services that I offer is one-to-one coaching sessions. So I thought it'd be really useful for people to be able to understand, well, what does that mean then? Then secondly, I think that it's a totally underrated and underused skill when working with people. And I think I might be on a little bit of a mission to try and get people to be more confident and more comfortable with what coaching means and how it works. So, to start off with, it's really worth you're going to hear the cockerels and the chickens and the hens in the background. Nothing I can do about it. It's summer. The windows and doors are open. You're going to hear them, so it's part of the charm. Okay. Yeah. So to start off with, it's kind of I'd like to take like a step back and think, well, when would you use coaching? When's a good time to actually want to coach somebody? And it's really important that there's two things that are present, that are in place before you think about having a coaching conversation with somebody. The first one is that the person that you're working with needs to actually have some knowledge, some experience of the subject that you're coaching, because if they know nothing, this isn't going to work. Secondly, they need to have some motivation towards what it is that you're coaching on. Coaching isn't going to help somebody to feel motivated. It isn't going to inspire them. It works best when people already have some knowledge about the subject and also are feeling really, really motivated to go where they need to go. In my experience, if those two things aren't present, you end up feeling like, when you're trying to put magnets together that are the wrong way round, and it's like this, you can feel like the push, you can really feel it. That's what happens in a coaching session if somebody it doesn't know what they need to know about the topic at hand, or they are not motivated to go in the direction that the coaching session is about. So those two things are critically important. So what is coaching? Coaching is about helping somebody to go on a journey of self-discovery, and it could last for 5 minutes, it could last for 5 weeks, depending on what the subject is and who the person is. But it's to go on a journey of self-discovery, of just giving them a bit of a helping hand to take time out and think about how they answer their own problem. Okay, so as the person doing the coaching, you're not going to be giving answers. You're really just going to be asking questions. And those questions are going to be probing questions that get the person that you're working with to expand on their thoughts and their ideas out loud. I always like to think of it, but it is like having your own little personal brainstorming session. But instead of everything just being inside of your head, you're communicating with somebody else and they're just helping nudge you on this journey. So, in order for that to work, you need to use open questions instead of closed questions. So, open questions tend to be things that you can't really answer with a yes or no. You can't really answer with one word answers unless you're being really obtuse. And closed questions are kind of the opposite of that, really. They're questions that you're going to answer with a yes or no. And also that it's kind of harder, unless you're a complete chatterbox like me, to answer them with a longer answer. So, for example, do you want a cup of tea? It's yes or no, isn't it? You either want one or you don't want one. Is it hot? Yes or no? Is the sun out? Yes or no? They're the types of closed questions, okay? An open question is more going to be like, what do you think about that? How do you feel about that? Why are you saying that? Okay, now there's a number of different words that you can start a question with that will really nudge the question down, being open and not closed. I'm going to try and remember them from deep in my recesses and see if I get them. Okay, you've got who, where, how, why, what. Okay. If your question starts with one of those words, it's more likely to be an open question. So when you've got those building blocks, you can start to think about how you actually approach a coaching conversation. And I always like to highlight the fact that for it to be an effective conversation in coaching, you're going to do not very much talking, and the person that you're working with is going to do most of the talking, because it's their journey of self-discovery. You're not there to tell them the answers. That's not what coaching is about. So if somebody's being coached, you need to get really, really comfortable with you're not going to talk. The other thing that's worth highlighting is be super comfortable with silence if you're the person doing the coaching, okay? If you're going to ask a question that's going to make somebody stop and think, then you need to allow them to stop and think. If you jump in because you're uncomfortable with the silence, you're not giving them that thinking time. They're not uncomfortable because they're really busy thinking. So give them that space to be able to do it. When I first started coaching, I genuinely used to count really slowly to 10 in my mind when I asked a question, to fill that silence inside my head, to give the person I was working with some time to have some thinking, to come up with what they honestly thought rather than the answer that's on the top of their tongue. Tip of their tongue. So if I give you an example, somebody might be trying to do something, and I might say to them, well, why is that not happening right now? I'm just too busy. I haven't got enough time to be able to do it. Okay. Why is it that this isn't a priority for you in the time that you do have available? I would expect the first question to have a quick answer. I would expect the second question to take them longer to think about the answer to that question. And you will, when you're doing coaching with people, you will want to peel back the layers and ask more than one question on the same topic to help that person really think about what their answer is, and not just that quick, immediate, it's because I'm too busy. I don't have enough time. Well, we've all got the same amount of time. So there's another reason. Let's just dig down a bit deeper. I also wanted to share with you today a couple of different models that I found useful when it comes to coaching. And the reason I find models useful is because it helps give structure, keep me on track. I could have a really brilliant coaching conversation, but if I miss out a couple of key points, the person at the other end isn't actually going to get where they need to go. So there's two that I wanted to share with you today. There are lots of them out there. Go Google them, go YouTube them, but two I wanted to share with you today. One super simple one, and one that's not so simple, but I still really, really, really like it, okay? So the first one is called the GROW model. And it was Sir John Whitmore who sort of created this. The reason I say it's simple is because it's only got 4 letters and I know how to spell the word grow. So GROW, simple. What do those letters stand for? G for goals, R for reality, O for options, and W for will. So working through those in a coaching scenario, the goals is just actually asking some open questions to find out what it is that somebody wants. So it is, what is it that you're looking to work on? I'd like to get some more customers in my business. Okay, great. How many customers is it that you're looking for? Asking like just more than I want more customers. I can't help you to be able to get where you want to get to if I don't know exactly what it is that you're trying to get to. But more importantly, do you know exactly what you want? I want more. What does more mean? Is more 1? Is more 100? So the questions are there to be able to really define the goal and make sure that the person being coached knows exactly what it is that they want to be able to achieve. So after the goal, we've got reality, and that is a reality check. Where are you right now? What's the situation that you're in? How many customers, using that example, how many customers have you got right now? What sort of time have you got available? Is this something that's easy for you to do? Is it difficult for you to do? What are the barriers that are standing in your way? What tools have you got to help you? So we're just trying to understand what's the reality of the situation that we're in right now. Moving on to options, this is really looking at that person's strengths and weaknesses. So what do they perceive their strengths to be? And a few probing questions to check that they really are strengths. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes I think I'm really good at doing something, and the reality check will help me highlight actually I could improve in that area. Also looking at weaknesses, and again, your perception of something that might be a weakness, probe and see whether it really is or isn't. And then finally, it's about will. And will is all about actually what is it that you're going to do? So we've done some talking and you've said some lovely things, but what are you actually going to be accountable for? What are the things that you're actually going to go out there and do now? So that really simple 4-step process, helping somebody from identifying what it is that they want to do, figuring out where they are right now with the goals and then the reality, looking at the options that are available and how they fit into their strengths and weaknesses, and then finally looking at their will, what they're going to be accountable for to actually get it done. So as I said, a really simple basic model, very easy to apply. The other one, and the only reason that I say it's a bit more complicated, is because I can't spell it, and that's not one of my fortes. So the next one is Stepper by Dr. Angus McLeod. And this one has a few more words in it, but I really like the way that it actually helps make sure that you're digging down really deep into what it is that's stopping this person from getting where it is that they want to be. So the acronym stands for subject, target, emotions, perception, plan, and then action. So subject, that's what it says on the tin. What is it we're talking about? What do you want to be coached on? What's the thing that you're trying to work on right now? The target, we're looking for the specific outcome that you're looking for again. So like the goals in the previous one, this is really pinning down to exactly what is it that you want, so that we're both really, really clear on it. Now, I really love that the next one is emotions, because in my experience, the thing that gets in the way, if somebody already has the knowledge or the skills to be able to do something, likely to be their emotions in some shape or form that's getting in the way of them achieving what they want to achieve. Next up, you've got perception. So this is exploring what's your perception of how difficult that is? What's your perception of how easy that is? Why do you feel that that's difficult? And really exploring and understanding why the person sees things the way that they do. Are they right? Are they wrong? Get them to be able to actually take some time to think about it through your questions to understand. We then want to put a plan in place that not only looks at specific things that you're going to do, but looks at the pace, the time scale that you're going to do it at. And then finally, and I love the last step on this one, it's about action. Because you can do all the talking in the world, all the coaching in the world, but if you're not taking action, it's pointless. So I hope you found this video useful. It's just a complete overview of my take on coaching in my own words, in the hope that it will give you a better understanding. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, and I wish you all the luck in the world. Take care now. Bye.